Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining for today's reading. We are doing a different reading. There are a few changes. Number one, I'm using Google Pixel Buds Pro and enhancing the audio. So that way there's no more of the crackling, hopefully less of the creaking, and you can hear me a little bit more close up rather than me sounding like I'm a bit far away. That's the first thing. Number two, we're doing Will to Power spread. I'm not going to go over the rant that I had, but if you want to, you can check out the first 5 minutes of Aries' reading. What I just basically wanted to note is that this is not going to be a channel where we focus on past loves and people that we want to come back into our lives and being obsessed about people from the past. I think that is a very weak position to be in life. And anyone who basically pines over their past lovers is inviting disaster into their life rather than focusing on what I like to, discuss as apotheosis, which is becoming the best and most, exalted form of yourself that you can make in this lifetime, in this incarnation. That should be the main goal of every person, not chasing after individuals who basically hold them back. And we'll leave those people behind for a reason. Enough said. Gonna leave it at that. That said, the good news is that we are using a new spread today. This is the Corleone Tarot. Because we're doing Will to Power spread, this is my tarot deck, specifically for channeling one's inner strength and power, as we have the lovers here at the bottom. This is modeled after The Godfather. If anyone who has seen that movie, you know exactly what it means to be in your power. I want you to channel Dawn energy and channel the energy of the Don Corleone and the family, so that way you yourself can really, really tap into your inner wisdom and strength, for lack of a better word. Anyways, if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, and please also ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And if you would also like a personal reading with me that is in tune with your energy, please feel free to reach out to me at the information provided in the description box below, and we can get that sorted. Anyways, let's get into it. Will of Power spread. We're doing this for Pisces. I said I was going to do in the Aries spread, Leo and Sagittarius. I'm now just going to be random. Change like that. Anyway, let's get started. So not all Tauruses are boring stalwarts. Sometimes it can be like any other sign based on our own, predispositions in our chart. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What is your Will to Power spread for June 2024? What is Pisces' Will to Power spread, June 2024? What is Pisces' Will to Power spread? These cards are very, very thick. Good grief. It's like shuffling cardboard, but industrial grade cardboard. That's when you know you got a strong deck with some strong energies here. I'm going to stop here. So, start with you. How are you in your current situation? How are you in your current situation? Wish come true in the reverse. 9 of Cups in the reverse. That's not good. So, what's the challenge? What's the challenge? What is the challenge? Just came out for Aries, so that was the supporting. But here, challenge, we have the Star, and then we have 4 of Swords. So this is someone with a lot of air energy in them. Greatest strength. What is Pisces' greatest strength? What is Pisces' greatest strength? What is Pisces' greatest strength? Again, as I was telling Aries, there's something about this deck that's really resonating me. What is Pisces' greatest strength? We have the Strength card. I'm not a magician in the traditional sense. Anyways, let's carry on. We have what's Pisces' greatest weakness? Pisces' greatest weakness, the Page of Coins. What is the supporting forces? What are the supporting forces for Pisces? What are the supporting forces for Pisces? King of Coins in the reverse. That also came up for Aries for the previous reading. Clarify that. Clarified support. Clarify the support. How will Pisces succeed? How will Pisces fail? Outcome. That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. You have a lot of major arcana in this reading to date. There's a few people and a few cards here. We have King of Coins and the Page of Coins, so it's definitely financially related. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. This is restriction. So if you felt restricted in any way, whether financially or the ability to get out and kind of forge your own path, I think it's important now for you to potentially take control of your life and bring and rein in some of the energy that is surrounding, you know, your mindset towards everything. And when we have this Eight of Swords energy, let's just go back on that a little bit. Eight of Swords energy is normally self-imposed restrictions. These are kind of like mini devil energies, as I would like to look at it, where a person is unable to see what clearly needs to get done or clearly is taking place around them. And what they're doing is they're choosing to kind of remain restricted without taking the blindfold off. It's kind of like the poking your head in the sand kind of card, which would prevent a person from being truthful and honest with themselves at the minor arcana level. Minor arcana basically denotes minor things that take place in your life. They're not major things like the major arcana, where it feels almost like predestined. So what's holding you back is the Star and Rest. This is a card of both of these cards, actually, are cards of healing. When you have the Four of Swords, you are basically reflecting on the Three of Swords with the Ace of Swords underneath you in the traditional Rider-Waite, which tells us that you are resting and healing from the period of heartbreak, parsing it so that way you can digest, understand, and then release the lessons from that. And then the Star is also another card that comes after the Tower, which is a major arcana situation of the same nature. After the Tower, you go through the Star period, and that in turn allows you to heal and grow and find your North Star, your guidance. That's going to allow you to, move forward from the difficulties that you faced going into the moon, because this is card number 17. Card number 18 is the moon. Card 19, if I'm not mistaken, is the sun. And then you have card 20, which is, let me make sure I'm getting those right. give me a moment on that one. Yeah. Anyways, let's carry on. It'll come back to me after a bit. Your greatest strength is, of course, strength. And what strength denotes is your ability to resist, persevere, and sometimes to hold back when needed. So even though you struggle with healing from, past situations, or even having hope, which is another thing that the star denotes, you have the ability to persevere no matter how difficult things are in your life. And this allows you to endure and to manage your time, resources, energy, even though things around you may not be as supportive of those things in your life Now, your greatest weakness, however, we talk about the page of coins. So the page of coins normally is about learning something new on a practical level. Maybe you struggle with doing that. Maybe you struggle with like the little things that you need to do in your life to improve its quality. And additionally, it may be that you allow yourself to communicate your worth on a very small scale. So if you struggle with issues of self worth, you may be the type of person that says, you know, I'll just grin and bear it. I'm just going to keep pushing through it. I don't really care. No, I don't want to talk about my feelings. I don't want to talk about, you know, what I'm doing. I just want to kind of get through this slog of a day. So that way, you know, I'm not moaning and, you know, complaining about things to other people, despite the suffering I may be going through, even though I can persevere. Very Pisces, like a Piscean thing to be kind of martyrs. And in this, what this is showing is that this is a bit of a martyr energy here. You have the strength as the strength, and then the page of coins as your weakness. So it's like, what do you have to offer? Do you really feel like you have enough to offer people? Do you have a feeling of lack? Do you also feel like there's very little that you can contribute to other people's lives? Or do you have just like very small sense of self-worth? These are questions that you could ask yourself about that. So that way you can kind of parse through what's taking place in your psychological makeup. We go into the supporting energies around your current circumstances. You have the King of Coins in the reverse, and then you have the Seven of Cups. So I'll be drinking here every now and then. The first we have is the King of Coins. This is someone in the reverse. Normally, it denotes someone that is, they struggle with the everyday practical things. And this can sometimes be a, you know, stereotypically a Piscean thing, but it can apply to anyone. Um, the King of Coins either buries themselves in the material world or they ignore the material world altogether. So they either sacrifice their internal self or in a kind of way, you know, they, in a way, they kind of talk a little bit about maybe this is a person who like stays late at work so that they don't have to go to their family, or maybe it's a person who's been hurt, so they just focus on their money and their coins. Um, maybe they bury their heads in work to avoid like the pain of things that happened to them in the past, or because they struggle with self-worth issues, they may overdo it using the King of Coins in the reverse energy to kind of make up for it or to overcompensate for that. And what you want to do is you want to avoid that as much as possible, because what it does is it creates an imbalance in your life. So the way you will respond to things would be almost like a, you know, borderline. It's like you would have to overcompensate for something because you have low self-worth or you don't feel like you can communicate that self-worth to people. In the supportive energy, what I see here, maybe this is a way that you try to deal with or cope with the challenge in your life, which is the, I didn't even read this. I don't even know why I didn't read this. Your, the way you see yourself right now is the Nine of Cups in the reverse. So this can be codependency. This can be low feelings of self-worth, not feeling like you have enough emotionally. It can also be the energy of someone who overindulges in things. But it's a very, very poor self-image, because the Nine of Cups normally comes before the Ten of Cups, which is complete happiness. I'm really apologize. I really apologize. I didn't read that card in the beginning. But it's a card that denotes like a sense of self-contentment, meaning I don't need anything externally from me in order to feel happy about my life. Instead, what I would do is I would look for something externally to complete me. Sex, looking for a relationship, looking for things outside of you, validation, um, anything that a person would do. Like, this is kind of like the core energy of a narcissist in many ways. Not saying you're a narcissist, but it's kind of like the engine, the power that runs a narcissist, which is basically not feeling good enough and struggling with images of self-worth and making up for it by doing the most in other ways, or extracting in a vampiric fashion their their feelings of self-worth from other people because they're unable to create that within. You want to avoid that, and you want to avoid that energy as much as possible. Because along with the along with the King of Coins in the reverse, you also have the Seven of Cups, which is a lot of options, a lot of choices. It can be someone who has many, many, many things available to them, but that they're just needing to choose a pick from them. On the other hand, it can also be flat out confusion. So, the things that are supporting you right now, the forces that are supporting you right now, it's kind of like the chaos that you're in. If I can just say it bluntly, um, you are supporting your life. You're helping to boost your sense of self worth by persevering, doing the right thing, despite how chaotic things are around you, and despite the fact that the material circumstances around you are not necessarily being conducive or supportive to your environment. So, say, for example, you went through a period of lack, didn't have enough money, you're able to kind of find ways to extract and make money. If you have images of poor self worth, you get that through your job, for example, you get that through your partner, um, your circle of friends, but it's not within yourself where it should originate from initially because you're not able to communicate or to ascertain or to offer your self-worth to people in the way that you feel would be a healthy way. Um, However, you will be able to succeed in life for June 2024. You have a holiday. This is the Four of Wands in the reverse. Normally, the Four of Wands in the reverse denotes someone that needs to shut or close doors to the past. It is a conduit in the upright. And what it talks about is celebration, a gathering, celebrating a milestone. Realize that you have not reached that milestone yet and allow yourself to bring things to completion. This is what I told Aries not too long ago. And I also told Aries about the Page of Cups in the reverse. You will succeed when you let go of the emotional confusion from the past. Um, what you must do, because the Page of Cups can be sentimental at times. They're also very flirty. They like to socialize because it has here fun and socializing. It's indicating that you can't take a break right now. What you need to do is focus on the things that are important and that matter to you. Don't scatter your energies across because the King of Coins can do that. They can be scattered and unfocused as well. And that prevents them from materially, succeeding in life. That also denotes the confusion, that's actually supporting this here. What I would say to you is that it's important for you to cut out the things that are distractions in your life and get to the root of the matter. Get to the root. If you're needing a job, find the ways that would allow you to do that rather than just kind of being distracted from the things around you and being distracted from building some actual success rather than little kind of microaggressions against your mind where you'd say, okay, well, maybe I can just, draw or paint or do something like that. If you're not doing it in a way that's going to support you or sustain you, reconsider. Because right here, I'm pulling a card for the failures. The things that make you fail are poor choices in decision making. So you have decisions here, that's the Two of Pentacles. Not being able to juggle the things in life that you need to in order to thrive and survive. It's important for you to stay focused. Again, cut out the nonsense that you may indulge in from time to time. Cut out the confusion, because in the failure, you have the Hierophant reverses, the lack of committing to anything of substance and of value that would allow you to persevere and to sustain yourself long term. The Hierophant has a long history of tradition and litany within the timeline of human history. So ever since as long as we've known people like the Pope, the papacy within human society, or any kind of figure that basically taps into that ancient knowledge that it imparts to the world, we have been able to kind of make sustained efforts that build society, to build structures and order that allow us to allow us to thrive as a species. In this case, in the case of the Pope, that can be a good thing, that can be a really bad thing, depending on how the Pope uses his power. Because generally speaking, the Pope uses the power for good to try to instill or impart traditions, history, and lessons. Um, what this is saying is that if you fail to do that, if you fail to use tried and tested measures, what you'll end up doing is either you'll just become either rebellious, you may um, struggle with making decisions on the material level, because you do have this King of Coins in the reverse, you have the Page of Coins, then you have the Two of Pentacles. And the failure part, it's important that you make sound decisions in your money making and find ways also that things that have been tried and tested, because a failure to do that will basically make you kind of a rebel without a cause. You won't be able to rise to the top either in the field that you're looking for, or even attaining your own personal power, because sometimes the Hierophant has the keys to the universe. They're the cross keys, and they're given to the initiates. Without initiating yourself through means that other people have been able to test and try and show that empirically they work, it's going to be more difficult for you to attain any kind of success. The good news is that the final outcome card for you, even on the timeline of say around June 2024, it could extend before that or beyond that. Excuse me. We have the Sun. Now, the Sun is a very good card here. Apologies for the cough. Jesus, my throat. Um, the Sun basically talks about achieving that sense of happiness. So the very thing that you were struggling with at the beginning of June 2024, you will hopefully be able to come out of that. And it can come from two ways. Either A, you begin to see the light. And this can come in the form of illumination through difficult situations in the past. Finally coming out of that dark night of the soul that you may be experiencing right now. Or even just finding that, your life is becoming a lot happier. You're able to kind of tap your inner strength, your inner wisdom, and allow yourself to become a bit more cheerful and upbeat, but also a bit more clear on what you want to achieve and do in your life. I don't think you're the type of person that would adhere to this, stereotypical Piscean kind of tropes, where it's like, oh, they're scatterbrained and they don't focus on reality and blah, blah, blah. I think you can buck those trends. And I think it's important that you start tapping into the more earthly nature within your being. And that would in turn write these, write these cards like the King of Coins in the right direction. And additionally, help you to make stronger decisions. And then it would also tap the Hierophant, which is also an earth card, which denotes Taurus energy or Venusian energy. So that's what I see here. I know this reading may seem like it's a bit all over the place, but you're a Pisces, you can do it, you can handle it. That's what I've got here. That's what the cards are telling me. Thank you so much for joining. If you like this reading, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell. If you want to see more content like this in the future. Additionally, if you would like a personal reading with me, please reach out to me and the information provided in the description box below. I'm going to rest my throat for a little bit. Slowly getting over this cold, even though the weather has now gone back down to pre-springtime weather. Nasty outside. Thanks so much. Take care. Love and light.